Now, even though Dorcas Good was only 5, Ann Putnam Jr. claimed that this kindergartner thrust the devil's book towards her and demanded she sign it. And when Ann wouldn't, the 5-year-old bit, pinched, and choked her as viciously as any adult witch. The other accused person here, number 5 by my count, I think, was a recent addition to Samuel Parris's church who seldom hesitated to voice her opinions. Yes. In other words, a pain in the ass. Her name was Martha Corey, and she was the 3rd wife of a man named Giles Corey, who over the years had graduated from pain in the ass to real piece of shit.
Hey, all right?
Yeah?
I prefer a real piece of fucking shit.
It sounds like... What happened to your other 2 wives?
Let's just say they're not wives anymore.
Did he kill his wives?
No, they just died. One died.
They just died. You know, that happens a lot. But the thing is about this time is that, when a wife dies and all that, everyone's very sad. But when you're accused of being a witch, that wife's death very easily turns into a murder. Oh, yeah. No matter what really happened. Because witchcraft, you can do anything with witchcraft. You can give someone, if they die of a fever, you gave them that fever through witchcraft.
Oh. It's very easy to do.
So you jump off a bridge. Ooh, witchcraft made you jump off that bridge.
Exactly, yeah. Because, we'll talk about it. Because back in the day, there used to be many gods, right? There used to be many, many gods. And as we shifted to monotheism, what they had to do was come up with all these different ways to talk about the inner drives of human beings, which is why they invented demons.
It's like that film Inside Out.
I'm mad that he said that. But yeah, I mean, technically,
I suppose so.
I'm
No,
upset
technically
that it does work, but yes.
It does work, yeah. Except for all the cuteness, it's demons and sin.
Ooh.
Oh, God.
One of the emotions in Inside Out should have been fucking disturbingly horny. That should have been one of them.
It was for children.
Well, Giles was considered a, quote, very quarrelsome and contentious bad neighbor.
Fuck you, you're the bad neighbor.
No, I didn't even say anything to you.
I save my spot every day.
Can I get my lawnmower back?
He had once been in trouble for theft of dry goods, and he had almost certainly beaten a handyman to death. It was never definitively proven, but everyone knew that he beat the guy to death.
When I beat the guy to death, he's the one with the hammers.
Yeah. Can I get my lawnmower back again? Or?
Oh, yeah, you want me to reintroduce you to your fucking wife?
I don't even know.
She's a fucking cow out there eating all the grass all day. She's a fucking piece of shit.
I didn't do anything to
I'm a bad neighbor.
Oh, I see.
Well, Giles was also known to threaten suicide to get his way, and he often threatened his sons with a specifically spiteful suicide in which he would kill himself and make sure that they took the blame if they didn't do what he said.
It's highly specific.
This is how I know that I was born on the East Coast, because my grandmother used to say fucking shit like this all the time.
Yeah, I believe it. It's a good little tool of manipulation, I suppose.
In other words, he was a bad dude, and his accusation would come on the heels of his wife's. See, once Martha Corey was accused by Ann Putnam Jr., a new addition to the afflicted, a servant named Mary Warren, also said that Martha Corey's specter was haunting around for pinches and pokes. What's interesting about the afflicted Mary Warren, though, is that she worked for a couple named John and Elizabeth Proctor. And Proctor was none too convinced that any of these witchcraft accusations were true, but not because he thought that witchcraft wasn't real. John Proctor believed that if anyone should be accused of witchcraft in the village, it should be the bewitched servant girls themselves, and not the respectable women of the village like Martha Corey.
But I also feel like that's just going to get him into extra trouble.
Yeah, maybe.
And John Proctor, by the way, he was 60 years old, and he did not look like Daniel Day-Lewis.
No, he
doesn't?
No.
No.
It's really weird how they do that in Hollywood.
Yeah.
Some people call it lies.
Right, it is.
But it's more like it's dramatic effect, where you make it seem like everyone would be attractive in the time period.
What actor should they have cast?
Danny DeVito. Like, it could have been anybody, no actor. A guy with a fucking hatchet face who is a disgusting the guy from The Witch.
Yeah, the guy.
Okay.
Yeah. The weird British man. Yeah. No, I mean the Crucible was, of course, like Arthur Miller took many artistic licenses with the Crucible. Like for example, like the supposed romance between John Proctor and Abigail Williams. The real Abigail Williams was 11 years old, and the real John Proctor was 60 years old.
Yeah, so she could be married for another 2 years.
Yeah.
So what? Yeah, then it was like donkey cows.
Absolutely disgusting. Okay.
Well, since John Proctor was also a real piece of shit, when his servant Mary Warren started throwing fits and hurling accusations of witchcraft, he beat her until the fits and the accusations very abruptly stopped, implying that Mary might have just been joining in on the fun. But once Mary had her change of heart, saying, "Hey, I was just making shit up, sorry," the afflicted girls also had a change of heart and said that Mary Spector had joined the ranks of the witches.
Welcome
I
to
am
the
getting
show.
confused.
You wanted to buy tickets. It's just important to remember. Anytime you
Yeah.
get confused, it's just any single person that says any single thing about any one of the accusers or the afflicted, they get wrapped into the story.
Oh.
So
Yeah.
every single person that is remotely touches the story is now in the story.
Maybe they should just keep it down a little bit.
Maybe. Well, Mary Warren then spent 3 weeks in prison until she decided it was better to be amongst the afflicted rather than the accused.
Change teams.
Yeah.
Okay.
And she once again lapsed into fits.
Oh my goodness. Henry.
Why wasn't I on Drunk History?
Yeah. Wow. Shirtless Henry shaking around.
Mary Warren then rejoined the ranks of her tormented sisterhood, while her masters, John and Elizabeth Proctor, they joined the ranks of first the arrested and then the condemned.
God fucking
It
damn
sounds
it,
like
man.
they're choosing dodgeball teams, but it's all about witchcraft and they can be killed.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, the stakes were high.
Jeez.
Well, seemingly low on outsiders and disliked community members she could name, Ann Putnam Jr. made the first truly startling accusation. She named an elderly woman named Rebecca Nurse, who was a good Christian woman by all accounts, who was almost universally loved and respected.
They all loved her. The Anne Hathaway.
Oh.
Yeah. But as it happened time and again, as soon as one afflicted accused someone, the rest would follow, no matter who was accused. It's the most dangerous game of yes and that there's ever been.
Okay.
However, it is important to note that the 6 main girls were not the only ones hurling accusations, nor were all of the accusers Puritan. A middle-aged Quaker woman named Bathsheba Pope counted herself amongst the afflicted, and Tituba's husband, an enslaved man named John Indian, also came in and out of the proceedings to say he was being tortured by the specters of teenage girls. Now, in a move,
Him and Crystalia. We'll cut this anyway, but it's just fun to say out loud.
Now, in a move that I don't quite understand, Martha Corey was actually brought to the Putnam house to meet her accuser, Ann Putnam Jr., face to face. And predictably, the mere presence of an accused witch absolutely ruined the day of the afflicted. On this day, ruined her day, this is putting it lightly.
Yeah.
On this day, Ann Putnam Jr. fell into what were presumably full hallucinations the moment Martha Corey walked through her door. And crumbled, and her feet, head, and hands horribly contorted as she choked and writhed.
So how?
Everybody's just sitting there with their head in their hands, been like, "Oh fuck, who's next? Who's fucking?"
I mean, were they like that or were they thrilled?
I don't know. I think that if you ever seen the Twilight Zone movie when they're all afraid of the kid
Yes.
in that one story? I think it's like that. I think they're all like, "Whatever you need, Anne. Oh, you want
It's a good thing that you did that. It's a good thing that you just accused the woman, the old woman that we all love of witchcraft. It's a good thing.
Thank you, Mother. Oh, tell me, I guess it's time for my 4th Pop-Tart of the morning.
Yeah, I guess so. Apparently they're healthy snacks.
Oh, my belly hurts. You're a witch.
God, man. Shouldn't have given you all those Pop-Tarts.
Well, when Ann Putnam Jr. wailed that Martha Corey was torturing her just by being there, Ann's tongue stuck out seemingly involuntarily, and she bit down hard, as if Martha was punishing Ann with witchcraft most foul.
At this point, you just got to be like, all right, you know what? I can see, I see that I'm affecting you. I'm going to go.
Well,
I'm going to get out of here.
What I would say is that if I was an accused witch at this time period, I think the goal is to start being like, "Then I curse you, And I'm like, go shoot. And you
Lean
can get
in.
everybody to do it, right? Because then we can all be like, is it working? Because then you can do it. People like, I curse you. And then they have to go like, oh, then they have to act like they're going crazy. Like, oh, I'm
Good
getting
point.
pinches. And then you have everybody doing it, and then you run. Because then everybody's running and screaming, and then you go like, yes.
Yeah.
I think if you do that, you very much risk getting an axe buried in your skull on the right there in front of everybody.
People
right in
taking
front of
this
the whole town.
People taking this real serious.
Yeah, point counterpoint. Interesting.
Well, when Anne regained the power of speech, she said that she could see a yellow bird suckling blood between Martha's forefinger and middle finger. And from there, the hallucinations only got gorier, or at least the claims of hallucinations only got gorier. Anne cried that she was looking directly into the invisible world, which, as I said earlier, that's the catch-all term for the realm where specters did their dirty deeds, where familiars lived, and where the devil reigned absolutely.
Yes, he does, doesn't he? And then this is where Aleister Crowley broke the mind of his intern.
Oh,
Yeah.
Is in the
that is
invisible
true.
world when they were
Yeah.
fighting in the desert together. When he fought that, what was it, the Agamemnon? I forget what it was. Where he did his
something like
big
that.
work.
Abraxas, maybe.
Yeah.
I gotta say, the invisible world's a great place to be a cat. Lick my asshole right, meow.
You're a guy. You're just a guy in a cat
Yeah, I
suit.
was trying to play a cat though.
Ugh.
You really ruined it for me.
Good Lord! I mean, you're 6'7".
Will you lick my asshole?
330 pounds. I guess you'll make me if I don't.